And we should be good. Welcome in. Good to see everyone back. I'm sorry, it is a little late, but that's the way it rolls. All right, we are back on the attack. Welcome in. We are making some more Christmas ornaments. If you want to stick around, they don't take very long. They average a very short time of roughly between 6 and 10 minutes if you want to see a completed ornament. But yeah, that's about all they run. So right now I'm finishing this gnome. We did it a little bit earlier, and I'm trying to get it a little bit custom right now. We have to fix the hat. And we're going to bring it down and just kind of bring it out this way. Actually, I'm going to needle nose it a little. So we're just going to heat it up, and you just come through and you give it a little bit of a angle down. And we'll start creating that little bit of a gnome hat rim. And just keep bringing it around. Oop. That one slipped off a little bit. All right, we should be good there. All right. Now we just have to angle it down. What's up, Coy? How are ya? BDH, what's up? Melissa, welcome, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to finish this gnome up. Got to get the hat kind of going downward because it was too kind of flat and round. You know, the gnomes have the hats that kind of curve down on the brim. So we're just trying to get that angle correct. Mostly gravity can do that. But every once in a while, you need to help it along a little bit. Without distorting the hat too much. There. Okay, let's get this thing together and finish this one off. And it should be all good to go. Then I have a couple cool pieces left to do tonight. What's up, Dragonfly? Night is going well. Lots of stuff to do, lots of things to get done. That is the life of, production work. All right, so we're just going to bring it out. Leave that little peak up there. Actually, I'm going to turn that peak into the hook. It'll be just fine. Center it and bring it all the way down that way. Tilt it a little forward. Should be good to go. All right. So we got the little gnome. It's not my favorite, but hey, it works. What's up, Red Squeak? How are you? All right, we're gonna separate this, and this piece is done. I gotta design a better version of this. It's not all that great as far as like my happiness level with it. It's not bad, but I just have to figure out a design that makes me comfortable. But yeah, I can't turn it around right now. It will not cooperate. All right. We're going to mix it up with some peppermint swirls in between a couple other items. I do have some cool stuff to get done. I'm doing fantastic, Red Squeak. You know me, I'm always trucking along. We're all good. All right, let's turn this, let's get the party started. Get some stuff done. Squeak. No pun intended, Red Squeak. It was kind of squeaky right there. Okay, so we're going to do a couple peppermint swirls. I am going to do a hummingbird flower that is on order. And we're going to see how that works out too. And there we are. And I think we're doing okay here. All right, we're good. It was a little wonky for a second there. It almost felt like the tubing had something off in it. It's just kind of weird. What's up, Jonas? How are you? Good to see everybody. We're doing the late shift. We're on the late shift. All right, we're going to stripe some white down this, and then we are going to add some red, pull a swirl, then we're going to do another one of different styles. And hopefully have some items done without any complications. It's late, but that's part of the job this time of the year. Okay, here we go. Beautiful swirls. Yeah, I love the swirls. It's one of the things I really enjoy is making little swirls. That and wings. I don't know why. I just absolutely love making wings. Okay, we're going to do that there. Couple more. Got that one and one more. There we go. What's up, Michael? How are you? We got the Molten Mob on. That's going to be your guys' new name, the Molten Mob. Y'all are awesome. There we go. We got some red right there. And start striping down. There's one. Two. Let's see how many we got around here. I don't even remember. 3. I think it's 6. 4. No, this will probably be 7. Nope, it is 6. 5. And 6 coming up. Oh, thank you. Didn't expect to see someone doing this. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind comment. How did the Uranium and Lucy one turn out? You know, it looks good, but it didn't turn out as good as I was hoping for. The Uranium is overpowering the Lucy by a lot in the daylight. In the dark, you can see the Lucy a lot. So at night, it definitely pops out. But in the day, that Uranium just overpowers it. The Uranium's so bright, the Lucy doesn't have a chance. So that part I don't like. But, it is what it is. And then after this, we're going to make the little fishy in red, white, and blue. And what else? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. There's a lot of stuff on the agenda. We won't get to it all tonight, but we will get through a variety of stuff. And I'll try and keep the repetition down to minimal. So we'll try and keep making different items as we go through, but some of these will be repeated. Like the Peppermint swirl, for some reason this year, this one took off. Usually it's a snowman head. But the Peppermint swirl definitely did it up. It definitely outpaced the snowman head this year. You should make a meal out of glass? That doesn't even make sense to me. All right. So next step is we got to pop a little hole, get that off there. Got off a little bit. I need to get the rest of it disengaged. All right, got to pop a little hole, and then we are going to punty it up to the other side and finish a swirl on this side. Like that. And we're going to button it up right there. And we're going to burn it off. Just found the channel, Doom Scrolling. Awesome. Thank you for telling me that. Butch Silver. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Did the flame catch you when you were doom scrolling through, or what part of it makes you stop? That's what I would like to know. Because I want to try and improve on whatever gets you to stop the scroll. That's like half the battle. Getting people to stop and actually tap in. All right, we're going to burn this off here. No, it's not Rick. The fire? Okay. Yeah, the fire definitely catches some attention. Yeah, it definitely has that effect. Zaxwell, what's up? How you doing? Definitely the fire. Yeah, it's always intriguing to see it. Fire made you stop. Awesome. Thank you for answering the questions or the question. It really does help me, um, and I always want to improve the process and what people see, and that just helps me decide on certain aspects of what I need to do with the flame. So pretty soon, we're going to have the horizontal going too. I've been doing a little bit of recording in the horizontal view, hoping that we can get a little bit of feedback and traction. So one of the videos I made is the ghost dog. I'll show you which one. And if you ever get a chance to go see it, I would like to get some feedback. Put it in the comments about what changes you would like to see, because I have 3 cameras going on it and the chat. So the chat gets replayed, the camera, there's the main camera, and then there's 2 separate cameras with different angles, one up close and one at a different position. I can't remember what the other one is. I just changed it. But I'm trying to do one where it's pretty close up into this area, one that's focusing on the product, and then a general flame one. I love this job. I wouldn't trade it for anything. If someone says you could do something else, I'd be like, no, I'm good. I am A-okay. And now that I get to do live streaming, it's 10 times better. All right, back of the kiln for you, buddy. Way in the back. Get back there. Because before live streaming, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction with people. And so it kind of sucked every once in a while. That's my opinion on blue cheese. Depends on what it's on. It really depends on what it's on. Callie, have a good night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out this late too. Is it hard to make realistic glass eyes? Yes. That is a challenge. We can make like zombie eyes and funky cool stuff, but to traditionally make a real glass eye, yes, it is difficult. So whenever I get the end of these tubes right here where they have the open end, definitely want to put a little shatter shield right here. And stop in case it blows up a little bit, and it happens every once in a while. You don't want it flying at you. Just the cheese itself, yeah, I don't do that. I'm not a big cheese fan. I know I'm probably way in the minority with all that, but I don't care. I'm just not a huge cheesy fan. Okay, so we got to bring this way down. Like that. We're making the little fish right now. This is the fish from the South Pole and the North Pole. These are the Arctic fish that fly around on the snow. F all over it. That's okay. We're going to bring that one there, just kind of get it out of the way. There we go. Okay, so first things first, we have to add some color on here. We're going to be adding some red and white to the body of the fish. And then we're going to do blue accents. All right, here we go. We're going to grab this. Okay, we got the red striped around. Got to blend that in. If you don't blend it in right away, these little rings will just pop right off. They're not fully stuck. All right, so we got, this is going to be the trippy part. Watch how the rings start getting very red. And then about 3 seconds, 2, 1, they just get more and more red. Blue cheese rocks. I just can't do blue cheese. I can't do any cheese. I mean, I can eat a little bit, but I have an absolute reaction to cheddar cheese. Me and cheddar cheese do not get along. Asking their opinions on blue cheese. Yeah, I can't eat it. I've had it on steak before and it's okay. But yeah. Okay. So we got the red and white striped around. Yeah, black and blue burger, correct. All right, so now we need to blend all this in. So we're just making the little fish down here, but we're doing it in red, white, and blue, which was the order. Okay, we got to super blend it now because it's being a little bit of a pain. All right, we're going to pull the very front of it off because it's always discombobulated up here. It's not organized at all. So we're going to make the tiny little body. Then we're going to do the fins. Last thing I'll do is make the hat. We'll put that on separately. Got to make the hat separate. But these pieces are super durable. I mean, these are hard to break. They look fragile, but they're not. There are a few cats out there that would disagree, but hey, that's a cat. Okay, so we need some cobalt blue. Ooh, I've got this right here. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe we'll come back to that. All right, we got to add some cobalt. Ever made a glass snake? Yes, but not like a super detailed one. No, we're going to change the design just a little bit. Okay, we got to pop a tiny little hole in here. This will be on the bottom between the little mini fins. And if I don't do this, it will not work. The piece will actually crack. And that's for all the hot air to be able to exhaust out of the item. Okay, nope. Nope. Trying to find the right one. Oh, this will work. There's my winner. Cody, thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate it. Goat cheese. Oh man, I can't eat goat cheese. I tried that. I really did. Oh, yeah. I mean, to each their own, but oh my God, that was horrible for me. I do love Parmesan, like the real stuff. When we were in Italy, we got to go see part of the Parmesan place where they make it. It has to go through like certification. That was really good. But yeah, absolute orange cheddar cheese will absolutely make me pearl. Not good. It's an instant reaction to it. All right, so we got this little bubble body. That's why I like these fish. They just kind of have these little bubble bodies going. I don't know why. I think they're cool. All right, so we're going to do the rear fin real quick. In order to do that, we're going to take and put a blue marble on the back. And then after that, we're going to use some needle nose pliers. And we're going to kind of give the impressions of the fin in there. So first things first, we got to make a little ball. We'll flatten it out a tiny bit, not completely flat, and then we'll use the needle nose pliers to create the impressions. And just a little bit more here. Okay. Sorry. So we got a little bit of a ball. Kind of. It's not completely a ball. And we're going to take and we're going to flatten. Like I said, not all the way, just a little bit. Like that. And then we're going to smushy. Smush. And we're going to give it a little bit of there. Tiny little bit. Ah, what's up? Selvin. I'm saying it wrong, I know, but Selvin, what's up? How you doing? All right, let's put the little mini fins on. Kind of almost looks like Wilson from Castaway. I don't know what gave me that vibe for it, but it just did. And this is one of the most common tools you could ever use, just a simple pair of needle nose pliers. They go a long way. You still have a one. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's not a very good troll phrase. I'm going to rate that like a 2. 2 out of 10 for a troll. Not a good troll vibe there. All right. Got second fin on. Then we got to get some eyeballs. I just had a little bit of... Oh, there you are. That's my winner. Definitely got to put googly eyes on. Nothing wrong with googly eyes, other than when I don't have the black glass with me. There we go. All right, got googly eyes going. We're going to punty up to the back and do the lips, and then we'll put the hat on. How much does the light from the flame? It doesn't affect it if you have the glasses. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you how my view looks. Now we got to do the lips. This is, I call it big old kissy lips. Just oversize them. Take that, stay. Then again, another simple tool, just a little simple pocket knife, and it does wonders. Give it a little bit of a smile. And up. So that'll have a super nice red on it, but we got to make the hat real quick. Got to make a hat for it. Okay, let's do a hat. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The lenses are more functional than PP. And yes, so these are actually different lenses. Let me get this built up a little bit so that there's a little bit of glass that goes into the flame, and then it'll show the effect a lot better. Let me just build this up a little bit. Won't take, got another 30 seconds. And done. So what ends up happening is this is the material my lenses are made out of. I do have an extra coating on mine called a welding shade number 3, just for a little bit of extra protection on the brightness. And let me bring this back out. So this smaller flame shows it much more dramatic. Okay, see how bright that is? Now watch. And it just kind of allows you to kind of see in. Open it up just a little. That's not like the greatest example. Just kind of filters it out. I really have to wash this lens. It's really bad. It's odd. This is the Kabuki. I love the kabuki because the phantom is my favorite flame to work with. And then every once in a while, you need a little bit of a kick to it. So you kick on the outer flame. I don't even have my flame engaged at the moment. I rarely use it now. But every once in a while, you need that thing. Okay, so we're going to make the Santa hat. Your buddy's a welder? Yeah. You want to know the best part about this torch, though? Don't do this at home. Oh, you have a Delta Mag. Good for you. Don't do this with any other torch other than this brand. You can just literally sit here and hold it, and it doesn't get hot at all. Can't do that with any other torch. All right, we got to do the hat. Let's do the hat. Oxygen and propane, yes. Occasionally, I will use a substance called propylene, which is a chemolene and propane mixture, and it'll kick up about 500 degrees, a little bit hotter. It's just super expensive. So if I have to do a big old project, then I will go in and use the propylene. I'll order it. But like a 25 gallon tank of propane cost me like $70, I think. Propylene will be like 300. So it's a major, major difference. But it definitely burns a heck of a lot hotter. All right, let's make us a Santa hat. Got a little bit too much on here, but that's okay. A little tight in there. Got to open it up. All right, and put the little pom-pom on the end. There we go. I have a feeling this is, yeah. Then we're going to punty it up and put it on. Oh, thank you. I just have a lot of fun. I like showing how things are made, not how to make it. So I'm not out to do complete tutorials on how to, step by step on this is how you make this item. It's more of a how it's made so you can see the process. Where are the likes? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't get, I would appreciate some likes. That would be really cool. I would definitely appreciate that. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, it would definitely be cool for that. All right, let's pop this hat on the fish. And then after this, we're going to do a hummingbird and flower sculpture. Worst part is getting this thing on and then not centering it. Oh my God, that's so annoying. And we got to wiggle the punties off. And you do it low, just in case it snaps. You don't want it to fall very far. Yeah. And then we got just a little red, white, and blue fish. It's a very basic ornament. Nothing overly complicated. Except when it doesn't want to go all the way to the back. Get back there. There we go. All right, so we got to make a hummingbird sculpture. Let's see if I have... Do I have enough up here? I got to grab some colors real quick. Yep, you and you will work. You. Definitely you. All right, we're going to be good. Bunch of little colors. First thing we got to do is kind of create a mixture of greens. I need to blend these colors together and create a separate color. And I'm trying to find a perfect rod to blend it with. That's way too long. Ah, perfect. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take all these three greens, and we're going to mix them with a drill, a DeWalt drill. Yeah, that chandelier behind me was done when I had a hot shop. So the hot shop is the big furnace that you typically see. It is glass blowing. You missed the part where we did that. You stick around long enough, you'll see more of it. I promise. I have not done a bearded dragon. That would be cool, but it's going to be, that would be a little bit of a test. All right, we're going to grab this green, and we're just going to kind of start mixing it together. I don't really need this flame for the heat. I just want the wide portion of it, so I can heat more of this rod up at once. Okay, got that. We're going to put some slime in there. It's a night where every single rod's been popping like that. Some nights they just happen. All right, let's go. Is that a Chihuly piece? No, it is not. Now, everybody thinks that Chihuly invented that style, and he did not. It actually came from Venice. Venetian. Let's see. Who is that? Pimp. Man, you got too long of a name. A pimp, whatever. I'm going to rate that troll phrase about a 2.5 because like lots of people say that. So I'm going to give you a 2.5 on a 10 scale of trolling. Keep trying. You'll get there. You're an RN? Oh yeah, I have the dolphin behind me with the reindeer antlers. That thing cracks me up still. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I didn't even name it. All right, so we got to just blend this all together. And then we're going to drill mix it. Can you make a bond comment? Just put chat for subscriber. I can. I was thinking about doing a subscriber only, but right now trolls don't bother me. I just kind of, when someone does a troll post on there, a troll chat, I just kind of rate it. Lately, they've been pretty bad. They're like 2.5s to 3s. Nope, no bongs, no dongs. Don't have a problem with the industry. You're just not lacking anything. And as far as the ability to find one, the variety is out there. Is it expensive to get a torch set up like mine? Yes. If you're just beginning, you do not need mine. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend it. If you had all the money in the world, I wouldn't buy this in the beginning. I would not do it. All right, so we got a lot of those colors. We got 3 different greens in here. We're going to use the drill. We're going to mix it up. Then we'll pull it into a usable rod. We'll start making the hummingbird and the flower. The flower we're going to make off of tubing. And the hummingbird will do solid. Oh, there's my drill. Hope I got enough battery left. I'd hate to run out. Black cat staring at you. You're like the 5th person that said that. It's my overalls, coveralls, whatever you call them. Yeah, we're doing a hummingbird that is sitting in a flower, like a open tulip style flower. So that's what we're going to shoot for right off. But first we got to drill. This is blending all those 3 greens together and it's going to give me one cool green looking color. And there we go. Got to set this way far away from me. How do I know if you have enough glass? I've made like a couple 100,000 of them. You mean like uranium glass? Yes, I have a ton of uranium glass. Lots of it. Okay, so we're going to grab this and we're going to pull this into a usable rod. And then next we're going to make the hummingbird. We're going to do that one next. And then we'll make the flower. Does glass ever get hot in your hand? No. So glass doesn't transfer heat like metal. It doesn't conduct it. It's good insulator, but horrible conductor. All right, here we go. So we just have to pull this into a usable rod. Hey, Red Squeak, you can just put them on total timeout. Yeah. I have really good mods in here. Yeah, absolutely. You want to try it? I highly recommend, if you get the opportunity to do this, definitely do it. It is a great experience. Just make sure the place you go is pretty safe. There are some people that don't really have a lot of, how should I put it, safety conscious studios. Yeah, the worst one is when I walk into some place and they have all their oxygen tanks sitting there, and especially the one that's hooked up to a gauge and not chained up. Oh man, that drives me crazy. You're asking for trouble at that point. Okay, so we got that green kind of blended in there. Now it's going to have a little bit of a brown hue to it while it's hot. When it gets cool, it will have a nice green shade to it. We're going to make the hummingbird real quick, and then from there, we'll see what happens. I wanted to do... It's got to be in pinks and purples. So I got pink there. Do I have any... That's going to be the flower. Oh, do I have enough of this? Oh, that'll work. All right, we got a cool combo coming up. So we're going to start the body of the hummingbird. Have infinite gas? Possibly. I might have a dragon underneath here. I might have a pet dragon on property. How long does it take to make? I've probably got another 10 minutes or less in it. What's my artistic background? Mostly silly putty. Silly putty and an Etch-a-Sketch. No. I grew up with this. So my mother started when I was 2 years old, and I was lucky enough to have grown up with it. So that's my artistic background, is having grown up with a mother who is very, very artistic. I mean, she could turn crazy stuff into from nothing. It was crazy what she could do. All right, a little bit more. The bird has to be a little bigger than the normal one, only because of the weight that's going to be exerted on this. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you got something down under you can light up. No, you don't. I bet you don't. You have to brag about it. Probably ain't true. AP, thank you for the clapping seal. Appreciate you. I haven't sold it like technically on stream. My TikTok shop, I did it all the time, but I do have it set up to be linked to my store. I just have to get it all set up with my Shopify. But yes, I can sell on stream. It's been kind of crazy because I got monetized in 3 weeks, and it's just been a rocket ship trying to figure all this stuff out. All right, we're going to do the tail. I don't use any tools for the hummingbird. I don't like them. It's not that they're bad, but I just don't like it. Smooth that out. So right now we're just forming the tail to the hummingbird. Nothing super special. It's getting hot though. That flame's biting back at me. All right, we're looking good. Put a little holding rod right there so I can finish the head. We're going to put a hook, my favorite part, the wings, a beak, and then we'll make the flower right after it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Can you make glass pieces? I can, but I don't. There's so much out there. Yeah, you're not lacking for a variety of things. There's way more out there than everybody could possibly buy. So there's no point in me making it. Okay, we're going to put a little hook on here. Not a little. This is going to be a good one. Worst burn. I've never had a bad burn. I've gotten some serious cuts, but I've never had a bad burn. Knock on wood. I saw my mother get probably the worst burn I've ever seen from glass blowing. So that kind of made me, it stuck with me. Like, you don't want that to happen. I remember it. I was very young, but I still remember it to this day. That was a gnarly one. Love the vibe. I thank you very much. I love the chat. I appreciate the comment. What's my favorite thing to make? I don't really have a super favorite. I kind of like, I always say it's the one piece that someone's willing to spend their money on. You know, you have a lot of choices of what you could do with your life and spending your money on. If someone chooses to buy one of my items, that's like my favorite piece, whatever it is. All right, we got to make some wings. Again, I don't use any tools. We freehand it. Just gonna bring it out. That. Smooth that out. Blend it up at the front and give it a little curvature. So again, this is why I like freehanding it. I always think they turn out so much better. I definitely like it freehanded. Honestly, I appreciate, as a glazer, you guys have a hard job. I didn't make the jellyfish today. I've got like 2 of them available. They are a little expensive, but they're a pain in the butt, and they do have uranium glass on it, in it, not on it. But the most important part about the jellyfish is it's a nightmare to ship. Kind of have to build a little cushioned cage around it, a suspension. All right, one more part of the swing. Blend it, and it's looking good. We're getting there. Glazing has to do with the like commercial windows, and it's a hard job. You have to know glass by a lot. All right, next thing we're going to add the beak, and this is the part that also bugs me every once in a while. People put the beak right on the front of the head, and it looks like Pinocchio. Technically, if you really want to make it look good, you put it on the bottom and then pull forward. And you will get a little bit of a like angled approach to it where you can just, it makes it look so much better. See? Doesn't have a Pinocchio look to it. All right, last step, we got to put the little eyeballs on there. That's small, but it'll work. Eyeballs. And then we're going to make a flower. Thank you for hanging out. If you're taking off, I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Eyeball. Eyeball. All right, so we're going to leave it attached to the tail, so when I make the flower, it's easy to assemble. Okay, so now we're going to make the flower. We're going to use tubing for it. Well, technically, I can do it non-tubing. Yeah, we're going to do non-tubing. We're going to make it into a tube off of solid, because this purple looks really good. You know, I forget the price of this one. Australia. Yeah, we definitely have. I've shipped there so many times. Australians are really good customers for me. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so we're attaching this here so I can extend it. We're going to take this purple. Let it cool. It still wants to bend. I got to wait for it to cool off. Been to Guam? No, I almost got stationed there, but okay, we should be back. Luckily, I have two Wi-Fis. We should be back now. Yeah, it is definitely windy here. Where am I located? I'm in Washington State. Yeah. So yeah, one of my signals went down, so I had to switch to a different Wi-Fi. No, it was definitely my end. We have a lot of wind and rain coming right now, so it could get a little stormy. All right, let's kick this up a notch. So this will be the flower for the hummingbird, and then we assemble it, and it should be all good to go. I just need enough of this to get it done. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to take some of the pink and this really, really dark purple. This is an older color. But I have a lot of it, but it goes a long way. We're going to stripe this around. Like that. Then we're going to take some of this pink and stripe that around. It should be good to go. You have ancient Celtic glass? I'll send it to you. No, so don't do that. If it's ancient, leave it alone. But it's definitely a different glass formula. I couldn't use it. The particular glass that I use is borosilicate or Pyrex. So it wouldn't work because it won't blend. But I would be interested in a picture of it. That'd be cool, though. Thank you for the super chat, too. Red Sun Orion. I like that name. Yeah, definitely keep it, but I'd love to see a picture of it. That would be cool. All right, so we got all these stripes running around. We're going to come through and we're going to add it in. Oh, man, I got to do this. There we go. All right, good. We're back. All right, so we're going to kind of blend all this together. I call this kind of like a finger painting technique. It's just what it sounds like. Other than it's 3,000 degrees. Just taking all those little swirls and blending them. So they no longer resemble lines. Whoop. Gonna get it all blended up. Swirl. All right. So that is the way it's all blended. Do I have a Smith torch? Yes. Right here. Hardly use it though. Do I ship worldwide? As long as it's legal. Yes. There are some places that do not allow me to ship. All right. We got to take this and flatten it out a little bit. I have like several tips for the Smith torch. Got the basic ones that come with it, and then I got 3 blast shields for it. All different sizes. All right, we're going to flatten this. Kind of looks like a broken Hershey Kiss at the moment. Can you get high polish like Murano? I can do exactly like Murano. All right, we're going to take average needle nose pliers and we're going to stamp it all the way around. Make sure I didn't miss any spots. I did right there. All right. So now that we stamped it around, we have a little bit of a kind of bowl shape like that. See? Very basic. And then we have all those colors swirling through, so that's even better. Then we're going to turn it to a flower shape. It's going to be really, really simple. We're just going to grip it and rip it. We're going to grip it and then rip it up. Pull this down a little bit. So we're almost done with the flower. What got me into glassblowing? How did it go about starting out? Super awesome. Thank you for the super chat. So what got me into glassblowing is I grew up with it. My mother started when I was 2 years old. So I've had the lucky opportunity to have grown up with it. How do you go about starting out? So there's a couple different ways to do it. My best advice, hold on a second, we're pushing this out a little bit, kind of creating the flower shape. My best advice is to do what's called an experience. Find someone that is offering not really glassblowing lessons, but an experience, what it sounds like. Go in, make a mushroom or something really cool, just to find out if you like being around the fire. Okay, because I can't tell you how many people I've encountered that said, I want to learn, and the minute they get around fire and they've already bought all their equipment, go, oh, I don't like fire. And it's happened many times, more than you know. So do an experience, just see if you like the glass. Once you do that, then you're going to buy your equipment. It's going to be about $2,500 to $3,000 roughly to get started. And take a basic class or two, and then don't take any more classes for a while. Practice what you learn. Watch a lot of videos. Come on my stream. If you have a question about how something's done, I don't mind answering it. And yeah, practice, practice, practice. Do I do any lathe work? No, I'm selling my oxygen concentrator so I can make room for a lathe. I don't have any room. I'm out of room. All right, so this is the green that we're going to use. And we're going to create a little vine off of it, like a little vine. This part's a lot of fun. This is where we get to fold the glass over and over and over. I don't want this rod super smooth. I want to create some texture to it. So in order to do that, you take it and you fold it on top of each other. Like that. And you want to create as many striations in there as you can. Kind of like a Damascus steel. When they fold it, you kind of see all those different striations in there. Same thing. Okay, and then we're just going to continue to fold a little bit. Try and get as much chunky monkey as we can in there. Then we're going to pull it out and down. Stretch it way out and then fold it back on top of itself. Just to kind of give it that vine look. You have to move it a little bit. Now we got the flower with a little bit of a vine to it. This is where I get to finish it off. We're going to take the hummingbird back out, and we'll attach the hummingbird to the top. I'll separate the flower at the top, and this bottom section will now be the holding rod. We're just going to take that, fuse it together really well so it doesn't snap off. Then separate it here, and that's where the hummingbird goes. Just got to make sure I leave enough meat on that flower. You don't want it really thin. You got to have enough space, thickness for the hummingbird to park on there. And we'll take it that way. What about there? Got to make sure everything's all fused in here really well. Now we have the hummingbird with flower. It's a nice, cool little ornament, and it'll hang from that hook in the center. But I like this design. This is super old for me. I would say I started that design, let me guess the year, 1995? Yep. I can make it look like it's drinking the pollen. Does the uranium have a lower melting point? No. Same melting point. Definitely the same. All right, this is gonna pop, watch. This bit's gonna break. It's told you. So I have a little shield there. Thank you for subscribing. How much is something like that? I don't remember the price of that one. The hummingbirds I memorized because they're super simple. They're $20 each, which I have. I just counted. I have like 70 hummingbirds available. I'm thinking of doing a grab bag with the hummingbirds. You know, you get what you get for a color, and doing a kind of like a blowout at $14, $15, and kind of like a mystery hummingbird. You get what you get. None of them suck, though. I mean, they're all good colors. They're all fantastic. It's kind of fun getting mystery box, right? Need one of those? Oh, the zeros. Yeah, I like zero. The spheres you make look wild. Do you have any there? Which? Oh, no, I don't have any of those right now. No, I don't have a whole lot of anything right now. Pretty soon, people are going to ask for whatever I have available, and it's going to be my washer and dryer. That's about all I'll have left. Anyway, it is 1:14 my time. I have to get some sleep and then pack up a whole bunch of orders tomorrow. I have 38 orders to pack up tomorrow. So got to get some rest. But I really appreciate all of you hanging with YouTube. If you hit the subscribe, I'll really appreciate it as well. get notifications. We'll be live every day. So I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon.